Who are the 144,000 in the book of Revelation? Revelation 14 verse 1 to 3. And I looked, and, lo, a Lamb stood on the Mount Sion, and with him 144,000, having his Father's name written in their foreheads. And I heard a voice from heaven as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps, and they sung, as it were, a new song before the throne, and before the four beasts and the elders, and no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. There are a lot of controversies surrounding the 144,000 redeemed souls. John wrote about it in the book of Revelation. Some people believe they are the total number of people that will be saved in the entire universe. But this view cannot be true, because God desires that all should be saved. Salvation is not for any group of people specifically. Salvation is not for a particular race of people. Salvation is not for a specific socio-economic background. Jesus Christ died for all mankind. He died for all nationalities. He died for the rich and the poor. He died for Asia, Africa, Europe, North America, South America, Australia, Oceania, and Antarctica. He died for the young and the old. We know from scriptures that Christ died for all sinners. God has an open invitation to all man and all women. Salvation is not for only the 144,000. There are even churches that have risen over the years that have claimed that their church members are the 144,000 spoken of in the book of Revelation. They would recruit members by imposing the idea that if you join their church, you will be part of the 144,000. Other churches turned this into a money-making scheme. They would call requesting people to pledge money or tithe to their church, stating that you too can be part of the 144,000. There are many different groups in the world today, and in the past, who attempt to say that they are the inner circle of the 144,000. So, who then are the 144,000 John wrote about? They are the 12,000 taken from every tribe of the children of Israel that God will use greatly during the time of the Great Tribulation to evangelize the world. These Jews will have the seal of God upon their foreheads, so that no one can by any means hurt them. Revelation 7 verse 1 to 8. After this, I saw 4 angels standing at the 4 corners of the earth, holding back the 4 winds of the earth to prevent any wind from blowing on the land or on the sea or on any tree. Then I saw another angel coming up from the east, having the seal of the living God. He called out in a loud voice to the 4 angels who had been given power to harm the land and the sea, "Do not harm the land or the sea or the trees, until we put a seal on the foreheads of the servants of our God." Then I heard the number of those who were sealed, 144,000 from all the tribes of Israel. From the tribe of Judah 12,000 were sealed. From the tribe of Reuben 12,000. From the tribe of Gad 12,000. From the tribe of Asher 12,000. From the tribe of Naphtali 12,000. From the tribe of Manasseh 12,000. From the tribe of Simeon 12,000. From the tribe of Levi 12,000. From the tribe of Issachar 12,000. From the tribe of Zebulun 12,000. From the tribe of Joseph 12,000, from the tribe of Benjamin 12,000, the great multitude in white robes. You see, the identity of the 144,000 is clearly stated in the Bible. God did not leave any gray areas as to the identity of this select group of people. They are all of the tribes of the children of Israel. Now, something that may stand out to you in this list of tribes is that Manasseh is listed here, but he is actually the son of Joseph. Let me explain. If you remember in Genesis 48, Jacob went down to Joseph in Egypt after Jacob had thought for decades. His son was dead. To meet his father, Joseph took two of his sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. Remember, Manasseh is one of the tribes listed in Revelation 7. So Jacob said to his son Joseph, Manasseh and Ephraim are mine. He claimed these two sons. As a result, Manasseh and Ephraim became tribes in Egypt. And as Jacob was about to bless these two sons who he had now claimed, Joseph positioned them intentionally so the older could receive the right-hand blessing, according to custom. Israel deliberately crossed his hands and put his right hand on Ephraim's hand and his left hand on Manasseh's head. This is such an interesting topic for another day, why he chose to bless Ephraim his right hand. Now on the list of 12 tribes, Manasseh is mentioned, but Ephraim is not. That is because in the list, Joseph is representing Ephraim in that list. The descendants of this tribe are here on earth. Depending on how close we are to the Great Tribulation, the actual 144,000 themselves could be all on the earth right now for all we know. But one thing we do know for sure is that they are here and on earth. Whether it may be their fathers and mothers or their grandparents or great-grandparents, we know that the lines of these tribes are where 144,000 will come. So, if anyone tells you to join their church so you can be part of this 144,000, and so that you can be saved from the Great Tribulation, don't do it. Don't give your money to anyone who tries to make you by your way into the 144,000. It is not possible. This shows us something that is astonishing about God. Look at God's ability to stand outside of time and the constraints of time, and map out the descendants of a group of people thousands of years in advance. This is the omniscience of God. He knows all things. Does that not just impress you? Isaiah 55 verse 8 and 9. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. You are limited by time. God isn't. God is so above us. How many of you know what is going to happen an hour from now, let alone 10 minutes from now? But God sits in a place where He sees the end from the beginning. These 144,000 Jews will be sealed during the Great Tribulation. They will live absolutely for the Lord and declare His counsel fearlessly to all people of the earth. There is no evil done against them that will prosper, because they will have the seal of God upon them. They will walk this earth with the protection of the Lord. I am sure the Antichrist will rise up against them, but there is nothing he will be able to do against them. We can truly establish that these 144,000 are not the total number of people going to heaven, because they will be sealed during the Great Tribulation. Meanwhile, the rapture of the saints would have happened already, meaning that many believers will already be with the Lord. So the 144,000 are exclusively from the tribes of Israel. Zechariah 12 verse 10 was a prophecy about how the Jewish people will come to the knowledge of the Lord in the last days. And I will pour upon the house of David and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem the spirit of grace and of supplications. And they shall look upon me whom they have pierced, and they shall mourn for him as one mourneth for his only son, and shall be in bitterness for him as one that is in bitterness for his firstborn. It is this revelation of Jesus Christ that will make the Jews to withstand the Great Tribulation. This group of people do not therefore represent the church, which is the entire body of Christ, but it is a fraction of the Jews which will be specially ordained by God for an end-time assignment. The 144,000 from tribes of Israel will be a light to the thick darkness of the world during the Great Tribulation. They will stand for the truth and defend the name of the Lord. Revelation 14 verse 4 and 5 tells us their attributes. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto God and to the Lamb. And in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of God. They will portray the holiness of God in a world laden with sinful abominations. They will preach the gospel of Christ in the midst of the Antichrist's hostility without fear of persecution. This proves that no matter how perverse a generation is, God will always have a remnant who will stand for him. God will always have his preachers. We do not need to be confused about whether it is only the 144,000 that will make heaven, because the Bible does not say so. Revelation 7 verse 9 and 10 further records that there are other multitudes of saints just immediately after mentioning the 144,000. It says, "After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude which no man could number, of all nations and all kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes, and palms in their hands, and cried with a loud voice, saying, Salvation to our God, which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb." The 144,000 will lead the entire saints and the host of heaven in a new song to the Lord. So when we get to heaven, all we will do is to sing the praise of the Most High from everlasting to everlasting.